So today we are going to be talking about density. Density and the topic of density goes along with our objective for number 3 that we have. Students will be able to manipulate the density equation using algebra to find the missing variable. So let's go ahead and get started. Everything has a set of physical traits. So every object in the world has a set of physical traits. A basketball is bouncy. It has round shaped. It's orange usually. Some minerals like diamond have a luster to them to make them shiny. And we know that when you heat a metal, some of them become red hot and glowing because of the increase in temperature. So everything has a set of physical traits when things happen. Density is a particular type of physical trait. So every single item has a density. So a hockey puck has density. So do these little minions. They all have density. Density can also change. Why is that? Why does density change? Because density is similar to weight of something. So just like we can change our weight in terms of pounds, the density of an object or the density of something can also change. So when someone says something is more dense, they're usually talking about something with more weight. And the opposite holds true as well. When something is less dense, they're usually talking about something with less weight. So going back to the picture on the first slide, if we think about something being more dense, having more weight, we know that C would be more dense because it's sinking in the water, and A would be less dense. Let me draw my arrows because it's floating in the water, and this would be in the middle. So it would be more dense than A, but less dense than C. So what is density? How do we define it? Density is the amount of mass in a given amount of volume. And there's an equation that goes with it. The equation is density equals mass over volume. So density equals mass over volume. We can abbreviate this as D equals M over V. Your mass is usually in grams, and your volume is usually in milliliters. Okay, but we usually use this equation right here. D equals M over V. So let's take a look at a math problem. So example 1. If I had a ball that weighed 100 grams and had a volume of 10 milliliters, what would be its density? So when you have a problem like this, there are certain steps that you should follow. And those steps, step 1 would be state the given variables. Usually the problem will give you 2 variables and you'll have to find the third one. So in this case, we're given a mass in grams. The mass of our ball is 100 grams. And we're given a volume. The volume of the ball is 10 milliliters, and they want us to find density. So when we plug into our equation, D equals M over V, we are trying to find D. We have M and we have V. That was given to us in the problem. So we just plug that in. So mass is 100 grams divided by 10 milliliters. So we plug that into our calculator, and we should have an answer of around 10 grams per milliliter. And it's important to include units in our answer so we know what value we have. Do we have density, do we have mass, or do we have volume? Grams per milliliter gives us our density. So our answer is 10 grams per milliliter. So let's go ahead and try another one. Example 2. If I had a ball with a density of 3.0 grams per milliliter and the ball had a volume of 2 milliliters, how many grams does the ball weigh? Again, we have some steps that we should follow. Step 1 would be to state your given variables. We have two variables. We have a density this time, which is a little bit different than example 1. Our density is 3.0 grams per milliliter. We also have a volume in milliliters, and that's 2 milliliters. So how do we plug this into our equation? Our equation is D equals M over V. We have our density, and we have a volume. We want to find our mass. So to do that, we need to rearrange the equation to get mass by itself. So to do that, I'm going to multiply both sides by V. So my V would cancel out on this side, and I'm left with mass equals density times volume. And since that's what I'm trying to find mass, I can plug in my two values. So density is 3.0 grams per milliliter, and the volume is 2 milliliters. And my answer then would be 3 times 2, which is 6. My milliliters would cancel, and I'm left with grams. So 6.0 grams is my mass. So in conclusion, our objective was to be able to manipulate the density equation, which we did with the two examples. And with further practice, I'm sure you'll be able to get it. If you have any questions, rewatch the video or come in tomorrow in class and ask me then. Hope you have a great night. Thanks.